NBA.com, the Hang Time Podcast. Okay, let's talk here about LeBron being out for what will be his 9th game tonight. Lakers 3-5 without him after back-to-back wins. But how much longer can the Lakers go without LeBron where you feel like the playoffs are still going to be there? Or how many games does LeBron have to miss before you say the Lakers are in playoff jeopardy?
No, this is it. I mean, if he's got 3 more games that he can miss, that's about all the Lakers can take. And they've played well. Don't get me wrong. They've battled. Their young guys have really put the time in, put the effort in, Jared. But you don't take away a guy that can make the impact LeBron does on a game every night for this long a period of time and expect to continue to be in that playoff mix. You got to have him back. You got to have him back in the mix and have him playing and these young guys drafting off of him at a critical time in the season before we get to the trade deadline and All-Star weekend and before you get that stretch run after All-Star. You got to have LeBron back in a really good rhythm.
Well, let's look at all that here. We have the standings. Lakers in that 8th spot right now. But again, look, if from the optimistic half-glass full side, the difference between 8th place and 3rd place is just 3 games in the loss column. Problem is, you've got Utah, who's been playing much better. You've got Sacramento, who's been up and down playing good ball. Minnesota's been playing much better. The Pelicans have been playing much better. These teams are on the tail of the Lakers. And then you look at what they've got coming up here. Okay, so you say, here's a game against the Jazz. Maybe even with LeBron, we wouldn't be able to win tonight in Utah. But then you got the Cavaliers and Bulls, 2 of the worst teams in basketball. So you're going to rest LeBron for those games, Sekou. But check out this stretch coming up. Thunder, Rockets, Warriors, Wolves. So you got to have LeBron healthy for those games. Here's the problem. You can't afford to not go at least 2-1 over these next 3 games.
I don't even think it's just about their schedule. What should really concern you if you're the Lakers is Utah's home schedule coming up.
Massive. They're home there a lot.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Setting up perfectly for them. So if you're the Lakers, you're not just playing your own schedule, Jared. You're playing the schedules of the teams around you.
Right.
You can't afford for Sacramento to get on a hot streak. You can't afford for Anthony Davis to crank it up. Minnesota's playing better. Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins. You have a lot more moving parts if you're the Lakers than just your schedule. You got other teams that are going to affect your bottom line if you don't get LeBron back soon and get him back in a rhythm.
And it appears LeBron being out is affecting way more than just the Lakers' playoff status. 10 before tip, number 2, star power.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the last center to have this many career triple-doubles. Those are some big names, man.
No, I mean, he's the best. I mean, but I don't know what to say, to be honest. I mean, it's really good to have my name there.
The big fella. Can we welcome him back to Sekou Smith's MVP ladder, which debuts each Friday right here on 10 before tip, as well as on NBA.com. There he is, the Joker, in at number 5 for the 2nd time this season among the top 5 players in the ladder. At number 4, Kawhi stays steady at the spot he was at last week. Now here comes the movement. Oh, no, maybe not. Steph Curry still there as well. Curry and Kawhi, Jokic. LeBron next, right? Nope. Harden slides down 1 from the top spot last week, and the Greek freak Giannis Antetokounmpo, who won't play tonight, but who beat James Harden last week, moves up to the top spot where he was for most of the month of November and early into December. Sekou, this is your ladder. So did the head-to-head meeting between Giannis and Harden sway you?
Partially, that was part of it, but these 2 guys basically can hand this thing off from week to week the way they've been playing here recently. I sense the fanboy fettuccine in you over there talking about LeBron. Where's my guy? I know what you're going with
hungry.
This. No, I mean, I know where you're going with this, but look, let's give credit to the guys who are playing. When Steph was injured, he didn't drop all the way out, but he certainly seeded his spot in the top 5.
Steph moved up on your ladder when he
moved up and he went back. Let's be fair.
LeBron, some serious CNN fact checking on this show here.
LeBron will return to his prominent spot in the ladder when he returns to his prominent spot in the Lakers lineup.
Now the guy who dropped out, right, Paul George.
In a tough one. They've lost 3 straight. He's been playing great. One of the problems for Paul George is, and it was evident in the game last night, most MVP candidates with the game on the line have a choice to either make the play or make the play for somebody else to make a play at the end of a game. Paul George is always on the receiving end.
Right.
He's got Russell Westbrook who's got the ball in his hand. So it becomes tough for him to manipulate the bottom line in games like that, Jared, and that in turn affects his MVP candidacy in the short term.
I like that you put Jokic back in, and you're talking about guys with the ball in their hands, an opportunity to make those plays. Jokic, that rare big man who has the ball in his hands, and lately, I mean, look at the shot attempts, putting up 20 shots a game over his last 3 games.
Well, I remember we were complaining earlier where he won
shooting
some games and he's not shooting. I'll give you this. Anytime you are in a conversation and it goes you, Kareem, and Wilt, you better be in somebody's MVP race. I mean,
right.
You better be somewhere mentioned in that MVP race. He's doing stuff that big men don't normally do, Jared. These triple doubles, this is out of the box stuff.
I just want to quickly note here, I spoke with Tim Connolly, the president of basketball operations for the Nuggets, the man who drafted Jokic a couple of years ago when most didn't even have them on their radar in terms of draft boards. He said it's not that Jokic doesn't want to shoot, it's that he's always looking for the best basketball play, right? And sometimes that's going to penalize him in lists like this.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's a lot, I know people freak out when you start making comparisons. He's a lot like LeBron was early in his career in that LeBron's first instinct was not to score, it was to play make. And Jokic's first instinct, just in the terms of the way he's been groomed to play this game, is to play make. Sometimes superstar players or potential stars, they're not just scorers first, they're complete players first. Right. I think Jokic, much like LeBron was, and I'm not comparing them as players, I'm just saying in terms of the style of player you are, your first instinct is to do something other than score.
I am just begging the Turner Sports social media department, please tweet this clip out and end it at, he's a lot like LeBron. And just end it right there. Please, social. Please do that for us. 10 before tip. Number 4, it's what's buzzing today around the NBA.
It was one for the history books in an